kid. We're still stuck with this light-skinned dude in the middle here because Devil is in Australasia. But we're happy to have him, and I hope that people in the live chat can send abuse his way. So, guys in the live chat, I need you to put forth the word Kyle insults you have, man, because I like ripping this guy to shreds, man. That's why I call the boy Kyle Reese.
Oh, good, bro.
All right, bro, that wasn't a thing for you to respond, but a regular Nick, what up, baby? How was your weekend?
I'm good. Happy New Year. This is the first one of the year. So hopefully, the dugout can continue to grow, and
can you, in sense of can you see in the top right?
I see it. It's covering my afro.
Hey, look, man, I told you doing some new things, man. New things, new things, man. Trying to do that officially.
Hope we can go from strength to strength in the new year. It's been
good.
Yeah,
and also we have like a little announcement to make just to how you can support the whole football dugout. We're trying to do a thing. Kyle, what up, baby? What's popping?
So good. Had a beautiful Christmas, beautiful New Year's. And I'm just trying to fully represent in Devil's players. Got my Arsenal kit on today. Oh, goodness.
Quick question. How many kits do you actually own?
About 6.
That's you wear on a constant basis. Even though you're an alleged Barca fan. So you're an alleged Barca fan, but you just wear kits like one of these 16-year-old chicks.
No, wait, but it don't work like that. Most of my merchandise are Barcelona. I got a Barcelona jacket, Barcelona top, Barcelona hat, shorts. But if you like a kit the way it looks, why can't you? It's just like a t-shirt. Like for me, I'm a Nike fan, but I still own Adidas.
Yeah, but you don't support.
Own Puma.
You don't support. Do you go to? I don't know. Do you go to a ground and watch Nike?
What the hell is this guy on about? That guy just complete rubbish comes out of your mouth. Look, let's just get started. So, guys, our main topic today is talking about the FA Cup. Whether it is still magic. So, if you head over to my Twitter page, vote on the poll, and during about halfway through, when we get into after our main discussion, we'll then do the results of the poll. So, head over to my Twitter page for the poll. So, we're going to be talking about Barca. We're going to talk about also talk about the FA Cup. VAR screen, how that was used. Obviously this is Pep versus Stones. You wrote Pope versus Stones.
That's correct. Pope.
Who the hell is Pope?
We'll get on to that.
Oh, okay, man. All right, man. We're going religious, man. All right, Pope John Paul, man. Okay, man. Okay, we're good. Okay, man. Thanks, man. All right, 2020. I like it, man. Let's bring Christianity into it. So let's start going off with this. Barcelona dropped points. So let me just put things into perspective. So Espanyol are bottom of the table. Even if the dude in the middle is wearing an Arsenal jersey, the dude in the middle is an alleged Barca fan. So I'm coming to you first. So let me just set the scene. First of all, they didn't have the US. So no US, they couldn't beat Espanyol. Do the math. They were obviously down 1, so they were down 1-0 through like a header, came back, and arguably the man of the match was Cannibal Suarez. But Frankie de Jong got 2 yellow cards, got set hands off, and in the final few moments, Espanyol were able to equalize for a valuable point. So afterwards, within the match, again, you go onto Twitter and so forth. Blame is on Valverde, and Barcelona's away record has been atrocious. This has to be probably one of the worst runs Barcelona have had with regards to away from home that I've seen in La Liga. It's weird for a team so good to not be able to struggle with literally every single team away from home is wild. So let me come first to Kyle with this, because I'm sick and tired of this whole thing of the players are never to blame because the players are famous. They've got Instagram followers. Well, look at that manager. He's not sexy. He's not famous. Let's put all the blame onto him. So Kyle, realistically, Barcelona's struggles away from home, is it all Valverde to blame? Or are you going to actually stand up and say that French blonde dude is actual trash and is a flop?
Well, first of all, anyone that knows me knows that
No
I
one
did
knows you,
not
bro. No
want.
one knows you, but
No,
carry on.
I did not want that French trash dude to even join the club in the first place. He's absolute garbage. He's overrated. To be fair, what is?
Dembele.
Nah, I'm talking about
No,
Griezmann.
If you shades
talking
lighter,
about
a few
Griezmann.
shades lighter, about 5 shades lighter, bro.
Yeah, no, I never even like for me, he's always been overrated. From his time at Atletico, I've never rated him. It's the same when we were on the verge of signing Coutinho, and I never wanted like for me, I always spouted Hazard. If we're gonna sign someone, sign Hazard. But we got Coutinho. And I never wanted Coutinho there. Same thing with Griezmann. Never wanted Griezmann. Griezmann don't fit Barcelona's style of football. He is more a counter-attacking type. He was more of a Real Madrid player than he is a Barcelona player. So he was never going to fit in Barcelona's team. Hence why I never wanted him. They're just buying players based on name and reputation, and it doesn't work like that. You sometimes it's going to work, but it's going to fail sometimes. If you're going to buy players based off of reputation and name, it's not always going to work for you. You have to buy players that's going to fit your system, is going to fit your philosophy. And Griezmann isn't one of those players. I would even go as far as to say is neither is Frankie de Jong. He's not a player that fits Barcelona. They would need a player.
It's a big statement, because he came from Ajax. And Ajax, we know about Ajax when it comes to Cruyff and their philosophy. Barca's whole philosophy comes from that. So I'm surprised to hear that.
Because I have been attacked by saying, how good is Frankie de Jong really? And guys have been attacking me and saying all this stuff with me. So from an alleged Barca fan to say Frankie de Jong ain't it.
Like I said, I've always had my list of players. Yeah.
So the blame for Barca struggles, who would you direct the blame at? You've got PK, you've got Antoine Griezmann. Is Messi doing too much, or is Valverde the issue? Who do you direct the blame to with regards to the struggles Barca are having?
It's the manager. It's 100%. It has to be the manager, because as the manager, if you're given a bunch of players, right, and you're still trying to play an old style of football that Barcelona clearly can't play anymore, you have to be able to adapt and say, okay, we need to change the system. We need to do something else. We need to play a different style of football, whether it's change the formation, whether it's change your approach to the game. Like he's trying to play football that Barcelona were playing like maybe 5 years ago. It's never going to happen. You don't have the players for it. Like if they signed Verratti, if they signed Thiago Alcantara, if they signed Neymar, that it's a different story. But you're working with Griezmann, you're working with Frankie de Jong, you're working with aged Busquets, aged PK, Ivan Rakitic. Like it's not going to happen. You don't have Iniesta, you don't have Xavi, you don't have these players anymore.
It's funny, because two out of the 3 players you named were ex-Barca players, Thiago and Neymar. So it just kind of goes.
Well, he named Verratti. He also named Verratti.
Recruitment has been shoddy. If you're going to let play, I know Thiago needed games because he was that good, but I'm surprised they ain't brought him back. He is that good.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick, then thoughts on this? Who would you put the blame squarely at?
Messi's not doing enough, innit?
Whoa!
How many goals did he score this year?
Enough.
No, what? What?
Nick's
scored enough.
Nick's that is a crude and cheap segue.
This calendar year.
That is a crude segue because you know what the next topic is. That's below the bar, bro. That's crude, man. That's crude.
In 2020, how many goals does Messi score for Barcelona? Don't worry.
Zero. Yeah.
Why not? And that's why they didn't win. If he scored one, they'd have won 3-2. No, I'm joking. Yeah. You can never put the blame on Messi. Messi's the reason why. Messi's the reason why they even have a sniff at anything this season, and even last season as well. No, this season. But anyway, it has to be the manager because we've been talking about this. Even when they won the league last season. and we're still questioning the man. They got to the Champions League semi-finals, and we're still questioning the manager. They got to the Copa del Rey final, and we're still questioning the manager. So it's not even about whether they won a game here or they lost a game here. It's clear to see that they are very much relying on individual ability to get them through games.
I.e. Messi.
And Alba. Yeah, I think put respect on Alba as well. He's done well.
Just Alba is twice. He's tight.
Whatever the game, even like Messi didn't score against Espanyol, but it was 2 moments of brilliance from Suarez while they were in the lead, and then they get a man sent off, and you like having a man sent off that late in the game is not a reason to lose the game. But you can see how disjointed the squad are. You can see that they don't seem to be the same understanding and team chemistry that Barcelona are renowned for, and was even accentuated under Pep Guardiola all those years ago. And unless, for me, the manager has to change, but the recruitment, as Carl said, the players are just not good enough to what Barca want to do. Because they are quality players, regardless, they're going to get to certain stages of competitions. But Barca want to be winning Champions Leagues. When's the last time they won Champions League? 2015? Nearly 5 years. That's not good enough. They can win La Liga, cool, but they understand that the competition that they're facing right now is not La Liga at its peak. And Real Madrid, who are also not at their peak, are now challenging for the league this season, which shows where Barcelona's at. So I think the manager definitely has to change, and then the recruitment going forward.
And just in time, Martin Rosario with the $2 super chat. Juju talked crap about Cristiano. Cristiano scores 3 Gs. Laughed my ass off. Martin Rosario, guess what the next topic is? So, and just to keep in mind, I don't write this.
You do.
On the far right with glasses, who is a banker, which means he's rich, writes this stuff. So let's keep that in mind. Because if I write this stuff, I ain't putting this stuff on this list. So remember, it's the rich banker to the far right that's post this. So Cristiano scored a hat trick. Cristiano scored a hat trick. Who are they playing?
Cagliari, I believe it was.
Yeah, so you can't even say their name. Cagliari. Speaking of which, I'm playing Become a Legend on Pro Evo 2020, so on my Twitch, and I'm actually playing for Cagliari. Shout out to your boy HH on PES, Become a Legend, man. Kyle, I saw that smile, man. Just relax, bro. Just joke. So look, okay. Let me speak. Because there's a reason why I dropped it in there, and it wasn't even about Ronaldo. I just put it in there because I knew it would trigger you. Look at your face. I haven't said nothing yet. That's the only reason I really wanted to talk about Sarri. It goes into Ronaldo, but it's more about Sarri. Because first game of 2020, and he's dropped Higuain. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they scored 4 goals. Granted, it is Cagliari, but there was, 5th, 6th in the league? I'm not sure exactly where, but they're like 6th or 7th.
But they've been struggling to score goals against everyone this season, regardless of where they are in the league. I'm not saying there's not a game here or a game there, but I don't think it's any coincidence that they've got, obviously, Ramsey in the hole behind Ronaldo and Dybala. And Dybala is very key because Ronaldo's not going to create anymore. He's
a finisher. He's there to finish. But you need somebody to apply for it.
Higuain never did create, and he's not going to create, especially at this old age. So you need that creativity. And for too many games this season, he has had Dybala on the bench, and he brings him on, and he makes an impact. And you're thinking, every time you bring him on, he makes an impact. At what point does he start? So he started in recently, but he's still got Higuain, he's still got Ronaldo, who are also not the same type of player. Their roles are very similar because at this age, they're both poachers. So you lack a certain amount of movement, a certain amount of legs and creativity when you have both of them in the team. Ronaldo is clearly the better striker than compared to Higuain. So you have to pay Ronaldo, and then you have to pay Dybala. And I think it's no coincidence that Dybala starts with Ronaldo, Ramsey behind, they scored 4 goals, and Ronaldo has found his shooting boots. And maybe also the winter break helps, especially at his age, where you need that extra rest compared to previous years. And he's started the year on fire. Coming back for that Ballon d'Or, baby. That Ballon d'Or.
So before I come to Carl here, For me, a hat trick is a hat trick, and well done for the hat trick and everything. I was going to say,
you got an assist as well.
You got an assist as well. Thanks, Nick. So it's a great start to 2020. It's a great start to 2020. But my thing is, and this isn't me hating, is you have do it against the biggest teams, specifically because you play for Juventus, who, last I checked, they won this thing 8 times in a row consecutively. Do it in the CL. Do it in the CL where it matters. Do it where it really counts. Then we can talk. Let's not over embellish certain things. If he drops a hat trick in a real quarterfinal or a real semi-final against your boys PSG, your boys Liverpool, El Capitan, what up, baby? Cagliari, let's chill. Carl, how much emphasis do you put on this hat trick?
Quite a bit. You got to put some respect on the guy's name. That was his hat trick in his 10th competition. I mean, how many players have done that, bro? It ain't easy, because if that was Messi putting in that hat trick against some dead team, everyone's ranting and raving about it. So you got to put some respect on it, man. You can't just play it that. You can only score and beat what's in front of you. I mean, they're in were in 6th or 7th in their league. So, they weren't. It's not like they're fodder. They're not trash. I mean, Barcelona were playing Espanyol, who were 20th. So where do we go from here, man? I mean, you have to put some respect on it, man. And the guy's a top player. I mean, you're saying score a hat trick in a Champions League quarterfinal or semi-final against PSG or Liverpool, but that comes if you're lucky once a season, one game in 60 games. When can you score a hat trick? If it's only a Champions League quarterfinal or semi-final against PSG or Liverpool, it may never come. So what are you gonna say?
He got one last year, by the way, against Atletico. Bam, bam, bam.
No, that's not good enough. It's not Liverpool.
Oh, my bad, man.
Okay. Moving on. But look, all I'm saying is, well done to Cristiano. Congrats on your 3Gs. I hope that this is a start of something huge. And as I've always said, Cristiano's goal scoring is going to be very key for Juventus moving forward. If they want to win trophies, specifically the CL, Cristiano will be important. But more so, it is the supporting cast around Cristiano that will be key. If the supporting cast doesn't rise up, there's only so much Cristiano can do. So let's go head now down to our main discussion, man. So it's about the FA Cup, man. Now, the FA Cup is...
Super chat.
Okay. Let me hit the super chat before I write. Thank you very much for the £5 super chats, Mr. Nippon Sharma. I hope we get Juventus if we reach the quarterfinals so that Ronaldo can shut his haters up. So I'm confused because I'm looking at a Chelsea badge, but you're saying that... I'm confused. Wait.
Wants Chelsea to lose, or maybe to win 4-3, but Ronaldo score a hat trick. I don't know. He's saying he wants to draw Juventus, i.e. Chelsea, I'm guessing, but he wants Ronaldo to shut the haters up. That means he wants Ronaldo to score the winning goal, or he's a complicated Chelsea fan like you, I guess. Complicated.
Wait, Nippon Sharma, I'm confused because are you a Chelsea fan or are you a Christina idol? That's what I want to know. Are you a Christina idol or look? Basically, I'm confused. But Nippon Sharma, like, if Chelsea gets Juventus, that'll be cool. And if Cristiano dares scores the goal that gets Chelsea out. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, bro. Because that would really annoy me. That would really annoy me. So
would you start praying to him? Would you call him a god?
He's gonna get past Bayern Munich. Laughable.
We're going to talk about January transfers. Okay, I'm hearing Sancho. I'm hearing Mbappe. I'm hearing the oof. If Chelsea gets the oof. Okay. Let's head right now to Kyle. Shush, Kyle. Don't do your eyes like that, man. I can see you through this screen. What the hell? FA Cup. So the FA Cup is one of the oldest competitions in England. It's very revered, and I think there's a massive emphasis on the FA Cup. So I think just to sort of school people, especially people who don't really live in England, for most cup competitions, and hopefully, Nick's and Carl maybe can tell me whether I've gone wrong. For most cup competitions in other countries, you just play the one game and you normally go to penalties. So there really isn't like a replay. So the FA Cup is one of those rare domestic competitions where like there is a replay, but more so because there are so many teams in England, and because the rounds begin very, very early. So many teams compete. So what's very interesting, which is what we'll get into, was Nuno Espirito Santo, who said that, like, no, let's scrap replays. We don't want replays. And I was like, yeah, man, fixture congestion. England don't have a winter break. You can reduce the fixtures. But then I said, you know what, let me look through the lens of the smaller teams. And I think why the FA Cup is made such a big deal is because of what it means for the smaller teams. If you're a small team, and let's say you draw Man United, and you draw Man United at Old Trafford, my God, it's your first time. It could be your only time going to Old Trafford. Now, if you force a replay back at your home ground, the amount of revenue you would get from that is huge. Vice versa. If you play against United and you're playing at home and you force a draw, the chance to have a replay at Old Trafford is huge and it's massive. So I think it's that whole thing of what it means for the smaller teams. And I think especially when you watch, for those, again, who don't live in England, when match of the day comes on, they do make a massive deal about how much this means for these smaller teams. And throughout the years, you've seen teams where, no offense, the stadium looks like a shack. The stadium looks like a shack. Like, the stadium is someone's kitchen who's starving for years. Okay, so I'm looking at, no offense, I'm not trying to insult any club, but I'm looking at Class B brick stadiums. That's what I'm saying, man. But my thing is is the magic of the FA Cup still here? And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, because growing up and everything, it was huge, and you could say, oh, the FA Cup is huge. The game has changed so much. There is so much money into this game. The Champions League has become so much bigger right now that I think that, and the key thing is this, and I think this is the key thing, maybe you guys will agree, social media, Twitter, and so forth. I don't think that the kind of media campaign that they have with the FA Cup can compete with the kind of promotional and media campaign that you see on Twitter that focuses more so on Man City versus Liverpool, El Clasico, Bayern against Dortmund, or Champions League, who's going to win in the Champions League. A lot of the emphasis on social media, which has revitalized how we now consume media, focuses on those things that they know will get those clicks. And the same kind of emphasis will not be given for, oh my gosh, Tranmere Rovers upset this, Doncaster Rovers upset that. So that's why I think that its magic and its pull has been dwarfed by the advancement of technology and so forth. So for Nix, how would you view, is there still magic within the FA Cup?
Couple things I think I need to correct you on quickly. I think in terms of not that you're not wrong about the FA Cup being the only one that has replays, but if I'm correct, the Copa del Rey is a two-legged cup competition. Is that not correct?
Every match from start to the end, apart from the final, is home and away.
Yeah.
So two-leg. Yeah, every match is home and away.
The Italian Cup, I don't think that's the case.
From the semi-final, it's 2 legs onwards from the semi-final, I think.
For Italian,
quarter-final and semi-final, not the final.
For Italian,
I believe, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, all of them are not straight knockout. I think the beauty of the FA Cup is one that is straight knockout. I.e., you turn up on the day, no matter the size, if you turn up on the day and you beat them, you're through to the next round. When it's a two-legged affair, the bigger team is invariably going to go through because they can mess up in the first one, and if they really want to get through, they'll play their best team in the next game and they'll go through. So I think that's the one added element to the FA Cup. Additionally, what was the other thing that you say? It was about replays? No, certainly not replays. I can't remember.
Teams that occur and the kind of revenue that they get.
But if it comes back to me, I'll come back to it. For me, the FA Cup, yeah, you're right. Because of the money that's in the game, it has lost its pull. It's lost its the excitement, the fan furore that used to be around it because of the money in the game. And so much so that, if you were to ask fans prior to 1992, let's say, before the Premier League began, would you rather finish 17th in the Premier League or win the FA Cup? I think most would have said FA Cup because it wasn't the Premier League.
Yes. Remember Wigan that season?
Yeah, but they went down. But if you ask them, maybe it's hard to say because once you've won it, you're like, I don't want to lose that feeling. But before, if you offer them stay in the Premier League or win the FA Cup, they probably would have stayed in the Premier League.
Yeah.
but before 1992, before the Premier League began, so it was the old First Division, most of the probably said FA Cup because the First Division was just another league. The money difference between the First Division and Division 2 wasn't as big as it is now. Premier League football changes lives, changes careers of owners and staff alike, footballers, etc. It's a completely different ballgame. I think because the FA Cup is not financed in the way that the Premier League is, the Champions League, for example, people say you qualify for the Champions League, we're guaranteed 30 million. FA Cup, you can win it, and you're not sniffing near 30 million. I don't even know what the final prize. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm sure it's under 10 million. Final prize.
It's shillings, bro. It's shillings.
Yeah, and the League Cup's even worse. So we're not even talking about that right now. So what is the incentive in a world that is very capitalistic now, where money rules? What is the incentive of winning the FA Cup other than the dream you had when you were a boy kicking football in the garden, Wembley, and and that kind of stuff? And I think
does that dream still exist? I mean, that dream exists for Division 1, Division 3. If you're in the Premier League, you're not dreaming about winning the FA Cup, bro.
No, but when you were 5 years old, before you got to the Premier League, it was a dream to come out of Wembley. But obviously, as time goes on, it's more about Premier League football. But I think there's things that the FA can do it's never going to be what it was because of, unless you get some Middle Eastern investor and it becomes a big prize pot and everyone's fighting for it. But the only way it's going to come back to how it was is if there's certain things that FA needs to change. I think semi-finals has to be a neutral venue. The final Wembley should be reserved only for the final, because that in itself is something that you step out of Wembley. Getting to the semi-final is not an achievement in and of itself, because you haven't won anything. You don't even get to be runners up, but you get to step out of Wembley. I think that has taken some stuff away. I think replays are very important because
for financially it's huge. Financially it's huge for some clubs.
There's clubs where they get a replay or get a tie at Old Trafford, and that pays all their debts or all their.
Because what's it called? I think someone in the live chat just said that when Wimbledon, I think either when they beat Tottenham or they played against Tottenham, the money they got paid off for all of their signings.
Yeah, so and that's the power of the FA Cup. So I like the fact that there's no seeding. It's just a straight random draw every round. Anyone can draw anyone. So you might get a big Premier League clash, and then you might get a minnow against a giant. And I think for that reason, obviously, I've grown up when the FA Cup had something more about it, so I'm still holding on to that. So I think it's still got elements of magic. I think in this game, this round just gone. Watford 3-0 up at home to Tranmere, and Tranmere come back to 3-3. That doesn't happen. That is not logical. That is not football logic, but it is football. It is magic, and that's the kind of things the FA have thrown up. I just want to say one thing. I was just speaking to my cousin about this, and he said that I think Jose Mourinho has suggested, it might have been a few years ago, I'm not 100% sure when, but that the big teams, it might be Premier League teams, when Premier League teams are drawn against non-Premier League teams, then the Premier League team should automatically be away from home. That should just be. So, whether you might not agree with it, you might say, no, it should just be random, draw where you draw. But that in itself, because the magic of the FA Cup is all about the non-league and the lower divisions. Mm-hmm. It's Man United, Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo going to Burton Albion in 2005. Burton Albion have no business hosting Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney, but the FA Cup allows it. So, there's things that it can do to get back some more magic, but it will never be what it used to be.
So before I go to Kyle, let me just hit up the super chat here. So from Nippon Channel, thank you for your 5-point super chats. So I think he's just trying to clarify what he said before. I'm a Chelsea fan, but I was using ourselves as an example as a big team. Hey, of course, I don't want Ronaldo to knock us out of the Champions League. Oh, and he scored versus Spain. What did he do against Uruguay? Tell me. And how many goals has he scored in a World Cup knockout game? Remind me. I'll give you a clue. It's less than one. Kyle, is there still magic in the FA Cup?
I'm gonna start with. Let me land. I'm just gonna say that, and I just want to address Neats quickly because he said, what incentive is there in the FA Cup nowadays? Well, if you win it, you qualify for Europe. You qualify for Europe, and it's like, say you finish 15th in the Premier League, and you won the FA Cup, and you qualified for Europe. They could use that to propel themselves. Let's just say on the absolute fluke, they won the Europa League. Then they're in the Champions League, and they've never even finished higher than 11th in the Premier League. There's a tiny bit of incentive. I mean, it's very unlikely, it's like almost impossible, but there is incentive. But for me, I have never seen the magic in the FA Cup ever. Like, I've never rated the FA Cup ever, and I'll tell you why. It's because for me, a magic in a cup competition is like the Champions League. It's like the World Cup. I don't feel that electricity in the FA Cup because when you have teams.
But Carl, can't you get behind the whole David and Goliath story? The whole David and Goliath ideology.
I can. But if it was David and Goliath was at 100%, and David pulled through, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But when you're playing Goliath and you're playing a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds and you win 2-1, it doesn't impress me, honestly. Like, I don't feel it. Like you're playing Goliath with one limb. He's got no legs and one arm. Like come on. Like
it's still Goliath in name. It's still Goliath in name.
I don't care. On paper, it's not Goliath. Yeah, it might be Goliath, but literally the guy's 2 seconds away from death already. So how victorious is it? Where David's playing at 100%, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go for this, boys. They got all their captains on the pitch, and everyone, the fans behind them, and they're out there, and they got one 16-year-old that makes a mistake, one back pass, and they intercept, and they're going so like, oh yeah, Will Griggs on fire. Oh yeah, come on, man. No, I'm not about that, man. I don't back that. I don't support that. I don't feel the magic. For me, that's not about magic. That's not the magic of a cup competition. And then the big teams only get serious when they hit the quarterfinals, and it's like Man City versus Liverpool, and then everyone starts playing their first team. Why didn't you do that at the beginning? No, man, it's a joke of a competition. I've always seen it as a joke of a competition. I don't rate the FA Cup. And for me, like I said, the magic is only in stuff like Champions League, World Cup, where it's their best teams going out week in, week out. Because
there's no magic in the Champions League.
What the hell? That is sacrilege. Are you sick? That is sacrilege.
The Champions League is
Have you listened to the track? The Champions, that's magic. What the hell? Nah, bro. That's messed up. I should induct you. That's messed up.
But it's not magic. Okay, name me all the magic moments of the Champions League. Magic.
Miracle at Camp Nou.
What?
It's called the miracle at Camp Nou.
What? The man cost 85 million. He's supposed to score over here kicking the Champions League.
It's still magical. It's still magical.
Huh?
It's still magical.
It's special. It's not magic. Magic is something you don't expect. Magic is Millwall getting to the chat. Magic is Wigan winning the FA Cup and getting relegated the same season. That's
as Carl
won the Champions League. That's magic.
Granted, but what since 15 years ago, Kyle?
What? Jose won it with Inter, the treble. That's magic.
Yes.
That was a
yes.
I had Eto, Snyder.
This is magic.
That team was trash.
2010, baby.
They were the best.
Your boy move.
They were the best team in Italy, and they had one of the best managers, arguably the best manager at the time. It's not magic. It's an upset, yeah, but it don't compare to Millwall getting to the FA Cup final in 2004.
Bro, Nix, how can you put Millwall and Tranmere in the same sentence as magic? Don't you know what socials look like? Magic is glitz, it's glamour, it's wow.
No,
your lights up. It ain't FA Cup, it's magic, baby. It's a CL, it's a World Cup. That's magic. That's the real. That's sparkles. That's Tinkerbell. That's Twinkle, man. Come on, man.
I don't know if it's you have hope. I know there's a few people in the YouTube community. I can't remember if you're one of them. because you mentioned the World Cup. Like me, I'm happy to see Saudi Arabia, 5 African nations, New Zealand, Bahrain. I don't care who they are. I like to see those minnows in the World Cup competing against, because it's never going to be they never get an opportunity outside of it, and you hope that you get an upset. You hope you get a Senegal of 2002, that was magic. That was magical. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was magical. But you don't get that in the Champions League, because the Champions League is just the elite of the elite. It's the top 4 of every competition, every world, and it's just the best of the best, which is fine. I love the competition, but it's the elite. So you whoever wins it in the end, we're already one of the elite of world football. Whereas when you get the World Cup, I'm not saying that they win it, but the Ghana repping for Africa in 2000, was it 2010 or 14? I can't remember now. Was it 10? Yeah, 10 in 2008.
You mean when Ghana played against Uruguay?
Yeah.
2010.
Those things for me, I love. So when it comes to that, for example, the World Cup, I'm like, yes, I want to see. If Saudi Arabia get beat 7-0, so oh well, they were there, and they tried, and I want to see the minnows get opportunity. That's what football's about, man. It's not just about the same mundane. Real Madrid winning 3 years in a row. Oh yeah, well done, you did. But you're supposed to. You're supposed to.
Okay. Let's look at something interesting now. Now we talked a lot about this whole VAR and VAR and how it's messed up and so forth. And lo and behold, it seems that the English game can use the damn bloody screen. So wait, what's the name of the ref? Is it Michael
Oliver?
So something happened. So Michael Oliver gave a dude a yellow card. He then went over and look. I know, guys. I know it's tough to walk over to that screen, man. Like you have to really walk, power walk and all that. But just he did it. Like yeah. He walks up to the screen, viewed it again himself. The referee, who is refereeing the game, viewed it himself, looked at it and was like, you know what? On second viewing, third, fourth viewing, that is a red card challenge. So he went ahead, cancelled out the yellow card and gave him a red card. So guys, ask you, so Kyle, I come to you. Why can't the bloody Premier League get with the flipping program and get the referees to go to the screen and look at the decision the second time? And why are they giving it to some referee in flipping Nepal to make the decision?
I heard that. It's quite simple. The Premier League are stupid. It's as simple as that. What can I say? They're stupid. And their whole reasoning was, at the start of this whole thing, was that they didn't want the referees to go to the screen because of time. They want to try to make it as quick as possible. But the referee viewing it and making his own decision is faster than 3 or 4 people looking at it, discussing it, saying, "Well, what did you think about that?" Well, I thought it was over the top, and the stars was no, but I thought it was. That is, if one person looks at it, which is the on-field referee, he looks at it 2-3 times. Yeah, no, I made up my mind. That's a red card. Off you go. That's faster than 3 people looking at it and talking about it and being a so-called clear and obvious mistake.
Oh, no. Also, look, Kyle, remember, just to add, because Kyle makes an amazing point. Not only are those guys in the booth discussing, they're also talking to the referee on the pitch via the. So you have. So it's like, can I hear you? Wait. Are you sure? No, sorry. Like, let me. So it's like there's so many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're like, okay, yeah, hey, sure, stop sharing. But I can't hear. Where is that? Go to the bloody screen. Nobody here. It's just you and yourself looking at the screen, replay. Angle 2, angle 3, angle 4. Carl, I'll come back to you. Because I see this happen in La Liga and Serie A. The referee goes to the screen. He's probably there for maybe a minute or so. 1 angle, 2 angles, 2 second time, third time, fourth time. I've made my decision. Boom. What's so long about that?
It's not. And honestly, it's actually quicker than the decisions that is made by VAR in the Premier League. Sometimes I see decisions taking all 3 minutes, and I'm like, decisions should never take 3 minutes. I don't remember a 3-minute decision in the World Cup. I honestly don't remember it. And that was what? A 64-game competition. And we've seen multiple 3-minute decisions in the Premier League. It's taken forever for them to decide, and sometimes they're not even displaying the correct information on the screen for the fans to view. Like they're checking for an offside, but they're checking for a foul before the offside even happened. So what are they checking for? For an offside, or whether they're checking for a foul? So I don't know, man. For me, like I said, the Premier League are just stupid, man.
I'm just simple as that. Hoping that this is a watershed moment. I'm hoping that I don't know. I guess discussions may have been had, or maybe Mike Oliver took it in his own hands and said, "You know what? As one of the best referees that we have," he said, he maybe agrees with us. He thinks the way the Premier League are doing it is utter trash. He's not in the Premier League. He's in the FA Cup, so maybe there's a bit more leniency or allowance for
freedom, more fluidity, flexibility.
Yeah, because the Premier League referees were advised at the start of the season. Directive was to trust the view of the person you're in. That was their directive, and I guess within a referees, gentleman's club, you have to trust your teammate. You have to trust your colleagues. If they say you got it wrong, you have to trust that they must know what they're talking about. But it's not about trust. It's just about you are the referee. You made the decision, and I just hope that, especially the acclaim that he got, and the happiness and excitement of the fans that he was finally making the decision. For me, I hope that the Premier League will look at this and say, maybe we got this wrong. Maybe we got this wrong. And I'll tell you what, when a referee reverses his own decision, not only is that person still accountable, which he should be, it's his job to manage the game, but I think fans will be able to digest the decision more than if somebody somewhere tells the referee to change his decision. I think I can digest if the referee changes his own mind. Because he made the decision initially.
You're the referee. No, because like this, like you're the referee.
So
how is it that because two referees can view a challenge different ways?
Yeah.
Not basically referees aren't robots. Yeah. They're human beings, so they're not going to give the same decision every single time. So
two referees can view the decision two different ways, but only one referee should referee a game.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, simple as that. So, before we leave this topic here, so Pope versus Stones, Nix. Okay, elaborate.
Yes. So, 6 months ago, Tom Pope of Port Vale was watching John Stones play for England, and he tweeted. He's now deleted the tweet. He tweeted saying that he goes, "Just watch the highlights of the England game. I know I'm a League Two player. I know he plays for England. I know he's on 150k a week. I know he's a million times a better player than me. But I'd love to play against John Stones every week. I'd get 40 a season. Hashtag soft. Hashtag weak as piss." Something he tweeted this. Nobody paid any attention because who is he? Who follows him? Who even supports Port Vale? No disrespect. The magic is there. But Port Vale drew Man City in the FA Cup. So obviously, as the Twitter police do, somebody found it, as they do. And it came to light. He's deleted it since, as I said. But everyone was like, well, this is your opportunity. You said you're going to score. You can score 40 against him. And obviously, John Stones has been injured for a while, so people were even doubting whether or not he's going to play. He was in the starting lineup. Man City took the lead, and Tom Pope equalized. Tom Pope, the guy said he would score 40 a season if he played John Stones every week, scored against him for League Two Port Vale. And it goes one step further because obviously after it, everyone's messaging and retweeting, etc. His phone's probably never blown up like this before. He tweeted, he goes, "Sorry, I can't reply to everyone. It's gone mental. I'd like to just say I was completely wrong and bang out of order to say I'll score 40 a season. It's more like 50. Enjoy your weekend."
Whoa!
Apparently, obviously, we know Benjamin Mendy is an absolute troll because that's all he's good for. He doesn't actually play football. Don't let anyone fool you. He is making a living. He waited outside the dressing room and got a selfie with Tom Pope, and I'm sure he probably shared it in the group chat. The Man City players invited the Port Vale players into the dressing room, and John Stones wasn't having any conversation with Pope at all. He was mad. He was mad. So yeah, it's just
No, look, man, it's that's crazy how things can just come back and haunt you. But I've always said with Johnson, Johnson's is a starving, poor man's, destitute, derelict, useless, desert island Beckenbauer. You know, it's like homeboy simply in that great. So homeboy simply in that great, man. All right, so let's overnight down to our final section here, man. So let's January transfers. It is what it is. So let me come first to Kyle. Since you're riding with Barcelona allegedly, who do you want this month, or who do you think Barcelona can get this month to really help them in their pursuit of defending the La Liga title and doing something in the Champions League? And if you say you want to sell the Us, I will virtually slap you across the internet.
I'll be real with you, have hope. Who I want and who I think we're going to get is completely different. I don't think we're going to get anybody, and I tell you why. Because when we bought Griezmann, we had to even take out a loan to sign him. Barcelona don't have anything to buy anyone. They don't have any money.
Loan?
For them to they take out a loan to buy Griezmann. Wait. Their own money.
Are Barcelona going to university or something? The hell? A loan?
Yeah, bro. Took out a loan. Took out a bank loan to buy Antoine Griezmann. So the fact that we had to take out a loan to buy Griezmann alone says that we ain't got nothing left in the coffers to buy anyone substantial to change this team. So, and we're not Arsenal. We're not going to go and loan Yossi Benayoun in January. So it's not going to happen. So, so who are we going to get? We're not going to get anyone. January's going to go and no one's going to come in. Like, it's not going to happen. I mean, the only thing possible is cancelling Coutinho's loan, but that's not going to happen.
Oh, so you would want Coutinho back?
No, I'm saying what I want and what will happen is two different things. Like I said, I don't think anyone's coming in. I don't think Coutinho's coming back.
Okay, so let me ask them, what would you want? Forget about what can happen. What in an ideal situation, in January transfer window, what would you want that? But I would kickstart Barcelona's season.
2 Messis.
By Verratti.
Verratti.
Yeah.
Wait, Kyle, before I continue, Kyle, can you tell these losers in this live chat, tell these losers who don't know what football is about, hence why I'm going to school you losers what football is about. Kyle, tell them why Marco Verratti is the most naturally gifted midfielder in the world. Whoa, what the hell? That's scary. What the heck?
I'm just trying to look into your soul because I don't believe what you're saying.
No. Look at it. Kyle, tell these losers why Verratti is the best midfielder in the world.
First of all, I can't tell you guys why he's the best midfielder in the world because I don't even believe that. Hafa was trying to force words into my mouth and trying to force feelings upon me. He's not the best midfielder in the world. He's not the most gifted and the most natural midfielder in the world. So I don't know what he's talking about. If I had to say who's the best midfielder in the world, it's Kevin De Bruyne. Who's the most gifted midfielder in the world? Not necessarily the best, Paul Pogba.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'd agree.
All right, so Knicks, United.
What
for the Monday? What go on?
I want to ask Kyle. Eriksen, would you take Eriksen at Barcelona?
Because I'll answer for him.
No.
Why not?
No, it wouldn't improve the team. And you look all like I personally said. Remember in the actually it wasn't the last one we had the week before where we had the Spurs fan, and I said that for me personally, I think Christian Eriksen can play centre mid, and all three of you just shut it down instantly and said no, he can't play centre mid. So if he can't play centre mid, he has no role in that Barcelona team. If he can't play centre mid, where does he play, Nico? Tell me, where does he play? Left wing, right wing, up front? He doesn't play anywhere.
False 9. No, I'm joking.
No. But come on, Eriksen is overrated, and also Eriksen might be heading to Inter Milan.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I'm a big guy. He said Man United. I'm guy because listen, I would take Eriksen in a heartbeat, in an absolute heartbeat.
For Man United, no. Knicks, qualify your statement.
No, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Man United should take Eriksen.
Yeah.
Eriksen is a dumb move.
No, that's fine. I was just asking a question. I'm talking about Man United now. Yeah, I'm saying for me, I would. That's why I'm a bit gutted that this Inter Milan story has a bit of legs. 20 million is the talk because obviously he's free in the summer.
Yeah.
And if they want to kind of press on this season, they can make that sign in January. That's a player we could take because 27 years old. In terms of his age, of course, performance we never know. But in terms of his age, he's in his peak years. He's Premier League proven, so it's not a case of him having to adapt. He's a player who come in to our team and he could improve our season straight away. You get
but Nixon, let me ask you this though. So if Eriksen was to come to United this month, what kind of impact would he be able to make into the team? Because my thing is that let's just be honest here with regards to rating Eriksen. Would you really honestly call Eriksen amongst the best creative playmakers in the world?
I'm gonna be honest.
Because that's just real. Because look, Eriksen is talented. How talented is he? Is he a guy where Eriksen at his best is 2012 Ozil? Eriksen at his best is what Iniesta was doing every single week for Barcelona. If that's where we're going, I don't know. Because United definitely need a playmaker. If Eriksen was going to come in, because trust me, a playmaker, you have a massive responsibility on your shoulders. Can Eriksen shoulder those responsibilities as being a consistent creator for United? That's the question.
There's two things in terms of this season, because I stated on a previous pod, I said our only hope of top four is to keep Pogba. So anyone I suggest that we sign this year, it means it's in addition to keeping Pogba. It's not a replacement. So if you've got Eriksen and Pogba, it means that the burden, which has been way too long, has been only on Pogba's shoulder, is now on both Pogba and Eriksen's to create, which means that it's not going to be Eriksen's sole responsibility to do so, or Pogba's. Now, I'm not going to compare the teams man for man, but if you look for France, Pogba was sitting in a 2 with Kante and didn't have to venture as far forward as his instinct would want him to, because there were so many creative players up front. If you've got someone like Eriksen in front of Pogba, Pogba can be more disciplined and give the ball to an attacking midfielder. Now, we are 5 points behind Chelsea with Lingard, Pereira, Mata as our creators. Pogba's been out all season. If we have Pogba and Eriksen in our team and fit for the last 5 months of the season, top four is a massive possibility. So yes, in terms of the impact, he doesn't have to be a 2011 Ozil or 2010 Iniesta. He just needs to be, let's say, I don't know, 2018 Spurs. Eriksen, that's what I want. And we could visibly get top four. As I said, Eriksen unlikely based on certain reports. I hope it could still happen. The other options are Griezmann and Grealish. Now, for me, both of them are tough.
Wait, who?
Grealish. Not Griezmann.
What this guy talking about, man?
Madison.
You can take him though. You can take him.
Actually, he's not too bad to be fair, but he might be all right for us. But Madison and Grealish, both are young, both are Premier League players. Obviously, Madison's got slightly more experience. My only problem and I would take both of them at Man United. Can they make the same impact as an Eriksen would this season? I would say no, because being that he's that much younger, the adaptation to another style of play, another team, another manager, different coaching style is going to be, it may be more difficult than an experienced player like Eriksen. You may get more out of them in the long term because they're much younger, but in the immediate, it'll be more difficult. And also, I think signing both will be difficult because one, I did a video on it yesterday actually on the channel on Nick Sports. Madison is Leicester's trying to get Champions League football, so they may forego an extra 20 million they might get in January to hold on to Madison until the summer, get Champions League football, and still sell him for a substantial fee. And the same goes for Grealish. If they sell Grealish now, they might as well sign their death note today, because he's their only hope of staying up. Aston Villa, that is, in the Premier League. So you say, you know what, we're going to risk not getting a certain amount of money in the summer in the hope that we can stay in the Premier League. When you get to stay in the Premier League, one, you're earning big money. Two, you get more for him as a Premier League player. If you get relegated, he's obviously going to cost less. But those are two players I'll definitely take. But it's very, very unlikely that we're going to get them in. And it's sad because we need someone right now. Like this month, we need at least one midfielder. And based on reports, who we're going to get? Jedson Fernandez from not Benfica.
Bruno Fernandes.
No.
Okay, wait.
Not Bruno. Not Bruno. Jedson, some 20-year-old Benfica. Exactly. You never even heard of him.
He's going West Ham, bro. He's going West Ham.
Let's look at some of these comments here, man. Let's look at. Okay, we got a super chat here. So thank you very much, VAR, for your £2 super chats. And obviously, this is a Liverpool fan. Obviously, Joe Gomez best.
Finish the sentence, then. Talk. Open your mouth. Look at the man. Look, his name's VAR. He has landed. Finish his sentence. Have hope.
Wow. Joe Gomez, best English centre back. Okay, let's have a conversation. Trent Alexander-Arnold, best right back in the world. Okay, I'm sick now. Look.
Now you know how I feel about you. But go on.
First of all, people need to relax on this Trent Alexander-Arnold thing. I'm going to drop a video separately about this, but let me just say this right now. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a system merchant. That's not taking anything away from him. De Bruyne is a system merchant as well. Trent Alexander works very well for what Klopp has built. Klopp has built an incredibly effective, amazing system. Hence, Liverpool are the best team in the world. But to now say Trent Alexander-Arnold in and of himself is the best right back in the world, I'm like, let's relax and just chill. Because I think that for Trent Alexander, he works for the system that Liverpool have built based on great movement, great structure, great spacing, and a understanding that has been trained time and time again by Klopp. So really, it's all down to Jurgen Klopp. But people are sleeping on your boy Joshua Kimmich. People are sleeping on your boy Joshua Kimmich, who is incredibly versatile. And from the last 2-3 years, I'm like, no, this guy is a quality right back, midfielder, central midfielder, and so forth, who can score, who can defend and do everything. Because for Trent Alexander-Arnold, okay, this guy is pretty good going forward, damn good going forward. Defensively, I don't really know. But the worst thing is, Liverpool fans, the worst thing is this. Don't you dare utter this guy's name in the same breath as Dani Alves. Don't do it. Even worse, if you open your rotten mouth and put him in the same breath as Bart Simpson, aka Philip Lahm, the greatest right back of all time, you guys are sick in the head. You see, this Liverpool fans, it's good. You're having it good. If Liverpool go unbeaten, I'm deactivating my Twitter. Because of this.
You lot heard it here first, man.
Relax, I'm going to come to you. Chill. Let me rant. If Liverpool go unbeaten, I'm deactivating my Twitter because these Liverpool fans, man, you have to chill. You've got to chill. Because I thought I was bad. I was bad after the whole Hazard Europa League thing, man. But you guys are crazy, man. You guys are sick in the head. Kyle, you can talk now.
This is hilarious, This is hilarious. Like, Joe Gomez, the best English centre-back. Wait, is he even in the English first team?
But this is the thing, Kyle.
I don't understand how he's England's best centre-back when he doesn't even play first team for England. It's Harry Maguire +1. So, and he's not the +1. So, how is he England's best centre? I mean, best centre-back. Huh? I'm befuddled, man.
Joe Gomez is very talented, and before his injury, he was in the English side. So I don't understand what they're saying, but I get why they say it, because Liverpool fans, of course, as we know, they're deluded. Everything they do is up a notch. So if they're if they're the second best team in England, they're the best team in the world. Like nothing, they don't do anything in halves. The greatest team of all time. Oh, sorry. No, on standby. I haven't touched it. I thought I got cut off. Yeah, sorry. But as you said, Harry Maguire is England's #1 centre-back for a reason. He was before he joined Man United. Just because he joined Man United and cost 80 million, it doesn't mean that now he's no longer the best because he's not playing as well as Van Dijk. He's playing the same way he was before he joined Man United, and he was England's best centre-back. Nothing's changed, but I guess the expectation has changed. The only thing that's changed is the expectation, the price tag, and the club that you're at. And of course, everyone loves the Man United not doing well. It's just a territory that.
They're saying that you're salty, Nick. They're saying that you're a salty Man United fan. Are you a salty Man United fan? How much salt do you have? Do you use salt or pepper?
Only sea salt. But Joe Gomez is, I would say, England's second best. Because Michael Keane's trash. John Stones is trash. I don't even know who the other options are. There's not many options. So, but I would still say second best because Maguire is England's best centre back. It's not even. It's just a fact. He's not as quick as Joe Gomez, but don't be fooled about the impact that Van Dijk has in that team because you all tell me, and I believed you, that he's the best defender in the world and he's the best player in the world, and I did a whole video on it for you lot. But if he's the best, do we ignore the impact that he has on Robertson, Gomez, and Trent? Like, are they all just individually the best players in their world, the best player? What, you can tell me Joe Gomez is second best, better than Koulibaly? Like, you lot just do too much. Do too much. Rate Van Dijk and acknowledge the impact he has on the players around him. Rate Jurgen Klopp, you say the best coach in the world. If he's the best coach in the world, all the players in your team don't have to be the best. Just because you may be the best doesn't mean Trent's the best. Doesn't mean Henderson's the best. Someone said Henderson's better than Pogba, and that's when I was done. At that moment, it was at that moment I knew what after.
Move on to the next super chat, man. Get your head up, man. Listen to your fans.
Man, I'm going to the chats, man.
Listen to your fans, man. These are the people that you bring to the table.
Wait. How about I want to talk. There's a report from L'Equipe to the Cavani, possibly to Chelsea. Obviously, we know Atletico Madrid are hot on his tail for the summer, but is Edison Cavani someone you would take in January?
Nope, because that's not what Chelsea need. Chelsea need an inside forward or a quality wing back. Atletico should pour every peso. Is that what they use in Spain? Every peso, every tapas bar, and every también tiene nueves ocho cinco to get Cavani, because Costa is a brick. Morata is a brick as well. Morata is trash. Okay, and there was a female. There was an analyst that said Mino Rizuka, someone that said Morata was a much more intelligent player than Lukaku and so forth, and like Morata would be doing better. Morata is missing open goals while Lukaku is riding for its plan. That's just the key thing. So listen here, Alaba to Chelsea. I'm not heard about that, but if
I did hear about that. I did.
Have you maybe say Alphonso Davies? Have you heard of this dude, Bayern Munich dude, Alphonso Davies?
I haven't watched him.
Looks good. Kid looks good. So if Chelsea can get an Alphonso Davies and they can get like a Sadio, if Chelsea got Sadio Mane, Mbappe, and like a Alphonso Davies, boom.
Be realistic.
Boom. No, guys, because remember, you're saying that Chelsea can't beat one. So if Chelsea were up to the alliance with Mbappe, Mane, and Alphonso Davies or Robertson, what do you say?
Carl,
look at me. What do you say? If Chelsea roll with those dudes, what the hell are you saying? You've been calling me LL because of this whole Bayern thing. If Chelsea roll with those dudes, Carl, what are you saying about Chelsea Bayern? Tell me right now.
Well,
Mane, possibly Neymar, your boy the
Okay.
The Davis, what are you saying? Talk to me, man.
There's three things here. First of all, what you're saying is worse than what my man just said about Trent being the best right back in the world. That's even more over the top. So you're worse than him.
I'm talking hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if you sign all those players, only one can get re-registered to a new team to play the Champions League. So out of all those players, you've got to pick one to go in the Champions League. So pick one. Tell me which one. Is it Mbappe? Is it Neymar? Is it Robertson? Or is it Mane? Which one is playing? Because not all of them are playing because they're all cup tied. So you pick one.
No.
Pick
Look,
one.
man. Look.
No. You pick one. You pick one and you tell me.
Something now, babe. We'll try and work something out.
Oh, okay.
Look.
Wait. To be fair,
Something.
Chelsea somehow got off their transfer ban, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're not.
Try and do something because I'm sick and tired of people not giving Chelsea a chance against Bayern. This is a CL. Nix, we just talked about this earlier on. It's called magic. It's called magic. Believe. What's my name? My name is Half Hope. How can I call myself Half Hope or not Half Hope? I'd be stupid. Carl, use your brain. I'm called Half Hope. How can I be called Half Hope or not Half Hope? Half Hope in Bayern Munich. So Carl, baby, easy.
I thought it stood for...
Okay, you know what? You said one player. Give me Mbappe. Just give me Mbappe or Neymar. That's right.
Now let me give you my answer. My answer is
the prodigy. Wait, William, the prodigy, and Tammy. Ooh.
Okay, and my answer is Bayern spank you behind. That's my answer. Bayern spank you behind.
Oh, with what? With Mbappe? What?
Yes, with Mbappe.
What about Neymar? So if Chelsea get Neymar, does that still happen?
Even if you got Lionel Messi, they spank you behind.
See, now you're smoking crack. Now. See, now you're just smoking crack. Look, let's take the super chat, man. See, you're a hater, man. George Lau, £2 super chat. Strikers who miss open goals belong. George.
He's not wrong.
George, that was below the belt. And George, that's not keeping with the spirits of the football dugouts. We are positive people here in the football dugouts. And I feel that your comment was below the belt and was quite frankly rude. And I hope and I pray that in that penultimate game, Chelsea give Liverpool their only L of the season. Oh my gosh, it'll be so sweet. Imagine if Mourinho is the guy that gives them the L. Ooh! 3 hour vid. What's this? I can't see. What does it say?
It's bare blurry.
Yes, it's blurry, bro. It's blurry.
It's not focusing.
There's Rashford was a PFA Player of the Month. I don't know if you saw, people were tweeting you Have Hope and you didn't respond. The picture says, that's nice of Rashford, PFA Player of the Month. Abraham FC right now. You got all the players on the floor holding their heads. That's your Chelsea strikers. Abraham FC. So you deal with that. There's no Neymar. There's no Mbappe. There's no, Mane. There's none of that. It's Tammy
and Olivier Giroud.
Okay, let's see the super chat. Let's see the super chat from Alex One, because Nix is just talking around rubbish, lies. These guys just talk lies. Alex One, $5 super chat. Where do you rank Reece James among English fullbacks? He's definitely one of the best. His crossing is more accurate than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a result of Liverpool Twitter PR. He's better than that absolute bomb. Andre Wan-Bissaka. Well, I think Wan-Bissaka is good defensively, but he's a brick of offensively. But I think if you compare offensive and defensive, I think Reece James is the best English fullback. And he's one of the stiffest fullbacks going forward in today's game. So, for me, I think Reece James, with regard to his defense and attacker work and his consistency, England's best fullback. That's what I'll say. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a result of a great system. If you put Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James in a vacuum, Reece James is far superior.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Trent for England because it's going to be different.
He won't be that great. He's a system merchant, man. He's a system merchant.
This would tell us a lot. It won't be the be-all and end-all because it never is the be-all and end-all, but it will tell us a lot. I already see his defensive efficiencies. But because he's attacking, and for Liverpool, he basically plays as a playmaker from the right. He's not a traditional right back. When he plays for England, he's going to have to do the job of a traditional right back. And it might cause some problems. But, big up Trent Alexander. He's a brilliant footballer. Don't get it wrong. He's a brilliant footballer. Is he a great right back? No, he's not. He's a brilliant footballer. How about
what?
Boubakary Soumare, the new Pogba, has been linked to Chelsea from Lille. You must have seen him maybe play in the Champions League against Lille. I don't know. For Lille against Chelsea.
Wait, so did you say the new Pogba or the new Kante?
Both. He's better than both.
Kante, Ungolo Kante, a one-man army. You see,
N'Golo
didn't they say this about João Felix? João Felix is the next big thing. Undobele is the next big thing. Stop listening to Twitter. Twitter is a cesspool. Twitter is a pit of hype and crap. Twitter is the same cesspool that sold me that Frankie De Jong, a flipping prospect from Ajax, is the next big thing. Twitter is a cesspool. They lie because they are.
But that's where you put most of your stuff. So
come to this damn channel. I give you the damn truth. Not believing Twitter, man. That's what I'm saying. It's about real, baby. It's about real.
How about
guys?
Locally, can I just quickly give you a number? After that last super chat, he said, "Where do you rank Reece James?" 7th. You can continue what you were saying now. You was wrapping up. I just wanted to answer the question.
Good answer. Chelsea fans are something else because this is what happens. They get one little prospect, and that ranks above every. The man ain't done nothing, you know. The man ain't done nothing.
Nothing.
For maybe a couple games, but now he's the best. Loftus-Cheek is another one. The man has only played in the Premier League for Crystal Palace. He played 3 games for you, get injured, but he's better than all of England midfielders. All I hear about is when Loftus-Cheek come back. When Loftus-Cheek come back. He ain't done that when he's there. Hudson-Odoi is another one. You lot rant and rave and rant. Force him to sign a contract. Man can't even play these days. Yeah, he scored in the FA Cup. That's magic. Because he's an underdog scoring in a big competition. That's magic. Hudson-Odoi. Don't get me wrong. I rate these players. But you lot are bad as Liverpool. You're bad as Liverpool. One little prospect from your youth. And you're going like you seen God.
So yes, so 7th.
Are you guys finished?
I'm done.
Yeah.
So just to finish off, Knicks, Manchester United are playing in the Europa League. That's the key thing. You don't need to respond. No, you don't need to respond. Let me talk. Your player is playing in the Europa League. Kyle, you support a club that lost 4-0 in the second leg. So both of you guys can't speak. And I am a complicated fan of a club that won the Champions League in 2012. What is 2012? It is the
8 years ago. That's what it is.
Everything. If you win it in 2012, that is the year that links everything together. So, that being said, thank you for being part of the football dugout. Those people who said certain wrong comments, I hope you're not here next week because some comments will be below the belt. And now I will go and watch the latest episode of Power with Pasta and so forth. And don't spoil it. Don't spoil Power for me. Don't say anything. Say nothing. I don't want to hear anything. I'm begging you, Nick. If you say anything about this whole thing, I will virtually punch you to this whole thing. I have waited and have heard nothing. Please don't say anything about Power. Please don't say anything about Power. I'm begging you.
I won't. I've never watched an episode of Power. I can't even spoil it if I wanted to. I know the name of Ghost. That's as far as it goes. I don't know anything about Power. What I was gonna say, I don't know if anyone in your chat has seen it. Have you heard of the TV show Godfather of Harlem? Sorry.
Oh yeah, Forrest Whitaker.
You watched it?
No, that's my next on the list.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, no. Forrest Whitaker is and also his wife on that show.
Listen, I don't really like that Have Hope guy, but I hear he's got another channel that's not sports, and if he reviews Godfather Harlem, I might hit subscribe.
I'll do my thing, man. I'll do my thing. Don't worry, I'll do my thing. Guys, it's been swell. Kyle, I don't know why I keep inviting you onto this whole thing because I don't actually know what you bring to this whole discussion. So again,
electricity.
What?
Magic.
No, guys, seriously, I'm actually starving. Guys, peace out, stay true. Remember to drop a like, remember to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out. I'm out. And we